Hello everyone, welcome back to another DF2 Tier 2 video. So today, I had a request to cover playing DF2 Tier 2 with a gamepad. I will preface this by saying I don't necessarily recommend it, because you still have to use keyboard in a lot of areas, like to make prices, log in, talk to people obviously, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't really advise doing it until there's proper gamepad support, if that ever happens. I don't know if it will. But if you really do want to play with a controller, then it is doable. I've set up the whole thing for it. So I'm going to start from the basics here. Basically what you want to do is you want to get a controller of any kind. I think most controllers work with Steam. I don't really know any that don't. As long as it's a USB controller and it has drivers, etc., then it should be fine. I'm using an Xbox Series controller for this, just because it's probably the most compatible thing ever. But I know for a fact you can use like a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, because I have one lying around. But yeah, so basically what you want to do is you want to plug it in or sync it up using Bluetooth, whatever you want to do. And then you want to load up Steam, and you want to go to the Steam icon. I think there's other ways to access it, but it's just easier for me. So you right click the Steam icon on the tray, and there's a big picture button. So you click that, and it loads up Steam Big Picture Mode, which is essentially Valve's idea of like a console like interface. I don't use it at all, to be quite honest. I don't think many people do, but it's here if you want it basically, and it's kind of the best way to set up the controllers. So what you want to do first off is, if you only just put your controller in for the first time, you've never used it on Steam, then you'll want to go to your settings menu using that cog, and you want to go to the controller settings. And for some reason a lot of these are unticked by default. I had to actually enable Xbox configuration support. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's just because it might interfere with some other games, I'm not entirely sure. Also, it's saying an Xbox One controller even though it's not, but whatever. But yeah, so if you it's best to go here first if you've just plugged in your controller, because then you can see whether it's all enabled or whatever. So do that, and then you want to come out of that menu, and you want to find your library. You want to go on to DF2 2. Now here you can see a bunch of shit. You want to go to manage game, controller configuration, and you can either customize your own controls, or you can go and hit X or whatever the equivalent is to browse configs. I haven't uploaded this yet, but by the time this video is up, this should be uploaded, which is my setup for it. I think it kind of just works best, but it's very easy otherwise to set it all up yourself. So it's not a big deal. You can set it up as a mouse for your things. This basically just allows you to set things up for games that don't really support controllers by default, and use just keyboard and mouse. So it's a very helpful thing to have. I will make the note that Valve are hopefully going to be updating Big Picture Mode eventually, because the Steam Deck is obviously available now, and the Steam Deck is using a vastly better interface than Big Picture Mode. So I would highly recommend using that when it comes out. I assume it'll probably just replace Big Picture Mode though, to be fair, so no worries there. But yeah, so basically you can customize all this stuff here, or you can use my key binding. There is other ones. If I go to browse configs and community, there are other ones around. People have a bunch of stuff. I'm using a very basic thing, so this is not exactly what I would call the be-all end-all gamepad configuration for it. This is basically just bare minimum play the game and not really have to worry about social stuff like that. There's no like quick options like saying you need food or whatever the hell. So there's none of that, but it has the essentials really. So you've got the inventory, you've got a menu. But like I say, if you want to type, you're going to have to use the keyboard. I don't know if Big Picture Mode supports an on-screen keyboard function. I know the Steam Deck does. I don't know if Big Picture Mode actually has that in place. If it does, then I guess you could just still use it. But using your left analog stick as a mouse is not really ideal, and unfortunately you kind of have to do it in this game. But basically, when you're happy with your config, or you've used mine, whatever the case, close out the menu, go to controller options, just make sure that's all in place, and then you want to go to play. So you boot the game up using whatever option you use. You can use whatever you want, and then the game just boots as normal, but it's using the controller configuration. So the right analog stick is to move the mouse, so that's currently the analog stick moving that, and left mouse button is RT or right trigger, and the right mouse is the left trigger. So it's kind of just basic. But unfortunately, because this game doesn't have just direct gamepad support, you can't make the menus work like a normal gamepad experience. I think someone would have to mod the game to make it work. Like, I can't just press buttons and then all of a sudden it does the trick and all that. Like, if I want to access a menu, I have to literally move the analog stick, press that right trigger to press it and whatever, and do that. So it's not ideal. This is where the keyboard comes in. So now I'm using my mouse. You want to log in using your details, and then you can basically just play as normal. So this is with the controller again. I'm going to go solo because I don't want to embarrass myself. I will probably get killed, very likely, because again, I mean, I'm not good with controllers to begin with, and this game is not really great for it, but someone asked for it, so I'm doing it. And I was planning to do a Steam Deck video anyway, but here's this one for now. So yeah, now I'm actually just playing with the controller like normal. So you can aim down the sights, well, not really aim down the sights, but you know what I mean. You can aim. I found dodging to A, which is space by default, and that's another thing. You might want to use default key bindings with this, because I've tried to set it up before that. So you can reset them to defaults if you go into the menu, I believe. Let me check, actually. Let me just do that. Yeah, you can just hit defaults. So yeah, it's using the defaults. B, or whatever equivalent is, like I say, is to open the door. Unfortunately, again, there's no option to just have the icons. Again, you'd probably have to have a mod that or something like that, unless I suppose maybe Valve could do something about it. I don't know. To be honest, it might be a little complicated, but yeah, so you can do that. To change weapons, it's the bumpers. So I'm now using that. And next up, we have the menu, which is what you expect, really. I don't know if these, that's another thing, I don't know if these layouts will copy over to other controllers, but again, you can customize it yourself. It's very easy. So just to clarify as well, you don't have to close this by going up to the button. You can just press the same button as you did to get into it. Here's the inventory. I wouldn't really advise doing this. To be fair, it wouldn't be a bad shout to add a quick heal option into this binding situation. I actually forgot that was a thing, but yeah, you can go through all this, do what you want. You can use that if you want. And then you can press the button again to get out of it, or go to private trades. And then you'll have to actually go back here. And then to be fair, you can still press escape to get through it. So yeah, it does work. I'd advise tinkering with it, but it does work. Holding down analog stick to sprint, like normal. If you want to do a kick, it's Y. I felt that was the best option. If you want to reload, then it's X. And there you go. So I'm going to head outside and get my arse handed to me. But I'm sure everyone wants to see that, so here we go. Also, it's a Halloween event, and I have not played. I ain't going to lie to you guys. I have not played this event at all. This is brand new to me, so yeah. Macintosh House. Is that what they're supposed to say? My aim is not the best. You can adjust the sensitivity yourself. I just suck at this shit. And there's no aim assist, you know, because we're not pussies. I forgot the button to reload. How do I manage that? Stop talking about feasting on flesh, man. Come on now. But it can, you know, you can play it. It is doable. I just don't really advise it, because especially in later areas, you're going to get absolutely swamped, especially if you're trying to aim like me. Like, if you can't aim... Oh, there's pumpkin zombies now. That's cool. If you're trying to aim, then you're going to struggle. So... But yeah, that's essentially the tutorial. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. You can customize it yourself. If you've got any questions, leave them and I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, I may still do a Steam Deck video. I just got to figure out how to get like a decent camera setup going. I might have to tape my phone to my head. It might have to be really horrible. I don't know. But I got to do some work to get that working. But it's 100% doable. I have noticed that DF2 2 can work on the Steam Deck if you try. There are a few crashing issues I've had, but I think that might be due to the Proton version. I'm not entirely sure, but it is doable, and I love the Steam Deck, so I'd be happy to do a video on it, because I don't think anyone's really done a video on it. I think I've maybe seen one, so it'd be interesting to do. But yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one, guys. Hope this helps you.